Hi guys, it's me Kaitrick and welcome to another bubbakeitrick vlog. And today I'll be telling you 5 things that you should know before entering architecture school. Ever since I started college, I have always received messages asking me what it's like to study architecture. Kailangan ba magaling ka mag-drawing? Wala bang math sa architecture? So today I'll be answering all of these questions to you. So, bago tayo magpatuloy, magpapakilala muna ako. I am Kaitrick Omar Mamalo, a 5th year architecture student from Far Eastern University, Manila. And just last week, I was able to defend my thesis. And hopefully, the coming sem, OJT na lang yung take ko kasi yun lang naman yung natira sa akin. So, let's move ahead. And here is the first thing that you should know and do before entering architecture school. 1.1, is it cost efficient? This question especially goes to those who are practical and are looking forward to earning big when they graduate. Architecture is lucrative, but reminding everyone that let alone in any program for that matter, kikita ka naman talaga ng pera, kahit saan pa yan. As long as you're determined at alam mo kung paano mo i-value yung worth ng money mo. So it's just about a wise financial management. 1.2, evaluate if it's really what you want by expecting that on your first 3 years in architecture school, puro manual drawings yung gagawin mo. But the thing is, napakaraming high school students na talaga namang may passion sa pagde-design, hindi nila kayang translate yung ideas nila into illustrations or perspectives, that it results to them canceling their pursuit of architecture. Personal experience, hindi naman talaga ako marunong mag-drawing noon. Natuto na lang ako kasi practice ako ng practice nung huling taon ko nung high school. Tapos, na-improve pa dahil sa mga visual communication courses na available sa curriculum na ino-offer for BS Architecture sa FEU. So, keep your worries at bay dahil sa Arki School napakaraming subjects na tutulungan ka kung paano mag-improve ang pag-drawing mo. And lastly, another reason not to fret is that we are already in the digital age. Puro digital designs na ngayon and lahat naman nag-excel doon. So, parang bonus na lang kung magaling ka mag-drawing. 1.3, evaluate if it's everything that you want by knowing that it has a minimum of 10 mathematics. I love the fundamentals of math, but not the complicated ones. And it's just so funny how I used to think that architecture doesn't have math, unlike engineering, kaya ko siya hindi in-enroll before. So, that is just one of the biggest misconceptions in architecture school. Well, for a moment, I was caught off guard because in my case, I've had 11 mathematics na may bonus pang 2 physics na parang math din naman. And those are the following. College algebra, plane trigonometry, solid mensuration, analytic geometry, differential calculus, integral calculus, statics of rigid bodies, strength of materials, theory of structures, steel and timber, tsaka reinforced concrete or R-struct. Tapos yung 2 physics ko. Yung isang physics, vector and scalar quantity madalas. Tsaka para puro trigonometry and physics. Tsaka yung pangalawang physics ko, about circuits. 1.4, evaluate if it's everything that you want by knowing where you are in the next 10 years in the industry. Choose something that you know you'll do passionately in the years to come. Try to look at yourself in the mirror and introspect, am I designing buildings a decade from now? Because it works, and introspecting is a very effective evaluation tool. Let us now move ahead, and here's the second thing that you should do before entering architecture school, and it's about choosing your college or university. 2.1 is about choosing your school based on licensure performance and top performing schools. Most of us before entering college choose our school based on licensure examination results, and while it is true na wala naman talaga yun sa school na sa mga estudyante yan, for me, wise basis pa rin yung top performing schools and licensure examination results as published by PRC, dahil ibig sabihin, kaya nag-excel yung mga school na to dahil meron silang teaching strategies and techniques na effective for students, and it only goes to show that results speak for itself. 2.2, choose your school based on tuition and facilities. Is it conducive to learning? Your chosen college or university has to meet quality and standards for an architectural school, so search tuition from different schools to compare the fees. Also, check how efficient their facilities are para guaranteed na may bibigyan nila sa'yo bilang isang architecture student yung services na kailangan mo habang nag-aaral ka for the price you pay. 2.3. Choose your school based on student lifestyle and culture. In my school, I really love the life being a student dahil napakalinyat nila sa maraming bagay. They let us be expressive of ourselves and they let us style ourselves the way we want because they exactly know that it's not compromising. That, for example, piercings, tattoos, dyed hair, cross-dressing, all of which are allowed in my school and they have nothing to do with poor academic performance. And lastly, for number 2 or 2.4, it is choosing your school by studying within your means. If you think kaya mo tapusin yung college sa pinili mong school, then go for it. But if not, siguro matatapos mo pa rin naman yung arki school, pero yun nga lang, sa mas mahabang panahon, katulad ng nangyari sa akin 8 years ago. I initially wanted to study at Ateneo de Davao, pero hindi ako pinayagan ng biological father ko who used to support me dahil mas okay raw kapag sa Manila ako nag-aral. And I agreed. At inisip ko na lang na siguro kaya yun yung gusto niyang gawin para sa akin dahil mas mura sa FEU compared sa Ateneo de Davao. But damn, I was so wrong. Unang-una, napakahirap umuwi regularly because for my family, it's very expensive to procure round-trip tickets every now and then. Pero nakatatak na yun sa akin and I have already seen it coming and it wasn't really a huge problem if I had to endure homesickness. Pangalawa, ang cost of living sa Manila ay mas mahal kaysa sa Davao but I have already expected it to. Now, what I didn't see coming ay yung sobrang pagtaas ng tuition sa FEU na ang buong akala ko ay makakatipid ako pero hindi pala. However, never have I ever felt any regret na sa FEU ako napunta at nag-aaral hanggang ngayon dahil napakasayang maging tama raw. Not to mention na napakaganda ng campus namin at ng facilities na nasa school namin. And I must say that I have grown so much holistically sa FEU that if I left it, I think it would be my greatest and biggest sapangs ever. Pero syempre gusto ko na gumraduate, gusto ko na rin makawala. Alright, so let us now go ahead to the third thing that you should do before entering arki school. 3.1 is about buying arki stuff and investing on rendering materials like alcohol-based dye stuff markers, a set of technical pens with accessories, architectural books, T-squares and triangles, what else do we have, drafting papers, and of course laptop for digital design is the best thing to do as an architecture student. Through this, it will be a lot more convenient for you to translate your ideas into architectural drawings. 3.2, gear up with resources by constantly practicing your manual drawing skills. And also you should know that being a Michelangelo prototype is never a requirement but only an advantage. So just keep on practicing because guys, trust me, if you have seen my recent drawings, especially my thesis, please know that if it weren't for constant practice, I wouldn't be able to illustrate the way that I do now. 3.3, make sure that you know places. Once you have chosen your school, familiarize yourself with art stores nearby. Because one thing's for sure, during your drafting classes, you will always have a run. So make sure that you know where you're headed to para hindi ka maubusan ng oras kakahanap ng pagbibilhan. 3.4, review the PD 1096 or the National Building Code of the Philippines. Because if it's not the Bible of Filipino architects, then I don't know what it is. Through NBCP, malalaman mo yung standards sa pagtatayo at pagbubuo ng mga buildings and spaces. So for example, doon mo malalaman yung tamang sukat ng isang backyard para sa isang specific na lote. Also, doon mo rin malalaman yung tamang sukat ng isang habitable na kwarto, yung mga tamang sukat sa kusina, and all that, all compressed in a book. So make sure that you buy and familiarize yourself with its content. 3.5, stock some works of Filipino and foreign architects. One way to immerse yourself into architecture is to know the projects, the works of the people, designers that you will look up to. While checking on their works, make sure that you are also digesting at the same time the rationale of their projects because architecture always has a story. So know what it is and get inspirations from them while still being original. Fourth thing that you need to do before entering architecture school is to be ready for the challenge because a lot of things will improve, a lot of things will happen, a lot of things will change that it will require you to always put your game face on. One of the changes that will occur to you upon entering arki school would be unconscious measuring. Because girls, sinasabi ko sa'yo, may sumpa ang arki school. So you will start to subconsciously measure sidewalks, ledges, canopies, floor-to-ceiling heights, doors and windows, and even floor tiles without tape measure or any measuring tapes or any measuring instrument. And just with your eyes. So, hindi mo sinasadya pero hindi mo namamalayang nasusukat ka na pala. Ang nakakatawa pa, none of these have happened before entering arki school. So, ayun, eventually magiging part siya ng system mo. But it's actually a good thing because you get to become more technical and more accurate when it comes to measurements. 4.2, there will be changes in your body clock. Architecture school is very demanding that it will always deprive you of sleeping, so make sure that you prioritize your health and never skip meals so that your body still gets nurtured and nourished while attending to the requirements of your ACADS. 4.3, it's about art block, and it's actually normal and you just have to combat the best way that you can. But what is art block? Art block is when the passion and the enthusiasm in designing get lost, but no worries for that because they'll eventually come back. Usually in my case, I would temporarily stop from working on my drawings kasi kapag pinipilit ko, hindi ko nagugustuhan yung naging output ko. So instead, I pause, I take a rest, and then I do something else that is equally worthwhile, and then I go back to my working drawings and finish what's left. 4.4, befriend your professors and always take their pieces of advice. Also, you should always take their criticisms constructively because surely your professors will always want what's best for you and will always teach you what you need to know. Now, in contrary, here is number 4.5, and it's about listening to what your heart wants. Sometimes our professors give us suggestions that are not complementary with our project. So what we can do is to not hesitate, to humbly decline. Kasi minsan, kapag mas nilalahad natin sa kanila ng mas klaro yung mga ideas natin, that is when they understand us. And lastly, the fifth thing to do in architecture school is to trust the process and enjoy it. 5.1, enjoy architecture school by balancing your ACADS and academic organization. So while pulling out all stops to get an excellent grade, make sure that you join an academic organization called UAPSA, or United Architects of the Philippines Student Auxiliary. It is the student organization for future Filipino architects, but this will be a separate vlog. I'm going to share with you how wonderful and amazing it has been since I joined UAPSA, that it literally took me to Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So stay tuned and I will let you know when it's up. 5.2, travel and sleep when you can. Arki school will be very demanding, so learn how to take a break by getting out of your room or by just staying indoors, especially in these trying times. When this pandemic is over, go out and see the world, take photos of it, love local products, and support domestic tourism by visiting different provinces in the Philippines, because through that, not only do we enjoy that journey, but we also help our locals make ends meet by supporting their livelihood. And lastly, 5.3, eyes on the prize. Know that the road to PACC is not going to be linear. It will be a roller coaster ride, so you have to be extra tough to battle for that sought after bachelor's degree. Also, stay focused and always instill in your system that you will be an architect someday, inshallah.